Am I the asshole for not paying for my niece's college tuition? I, 45 male, am a father of 3, 25 male, 21 male, and 18 female, but I also take care of my niece, 17 female, after her father passed away. My wife, 45 female, and I have always treated her like family, and we give her things equally to the others so that she doesn't feel left out. I honestly really care about her, but financially I can't support her all my life. When my eldest moved away, I had more money to spare, so I was able to get her more things. My daughter is now going away to college, so my niece was excited and came to my wife and I about colleges she liked. I told her it was great she was thinking of college, and I said it would be good for to apply for scholarships now so it would be easier later. She laughed and asked why when her tuition would be paid for. I told her that no, I wouldn't, I only had money to pay for my kids, but I would help her out with basic necessities. She was silent after that, then went to her room. Apparently she spoke to my father because he called me in a rage and said I was being cruel to her, especially since my brother was always close to me when he was alive. I told him I just didn't have that type of money saved, and he said if I had cared for her I would have started saving as soon as I took her in. My brother died very young, so he didn't have much saved, and my niece's mother's side isn't offering anything. I admit I could have told her earlier that I wouldn't pay for her tuition, but I didn't. Am I the asshole? Not enough information. If you're in the United States, did you legally adopt your niece, or are you simply her guardian? If you have guardianship but didn't adopt your niece, she will be considered an independent student when she applies for financial aid. She doesn't have to report your income on her FAFSA. That should significantly reduce her cost of attending college and make her Pell Grant eligible. It may actually be possible for you to pay whatever cost remains even if you have minimal savings. Fill out the FAFSA to get an idea of what her expected contribution is, and talk to a financial aid officer at your local university to find out what aid is available. If she has a list of colleges she's interested in, I'd help her reach out to the financial aid officers now and discuss options. I'm going no assholes here. Looking at the ages, seems like original poster already had one kid in college and another in HS when niece came to live with them. Was he supposed to tell his oldest son, sorry I can't pay for all your college anymore because of your cousin? While the girl's mom is alive and well but just decided to skip out on being a parent? And yes, original poster could have started a college fund 6 years ago, but college isn't cheap, assuming this is the US, and it's possible the money that could have gone to that instead was used to house, feed, clothe the niece and include her in every other aspect of their life, vacations, sports, activities, etc. It's unlikely the fund would equal ops kids. At that point, do people expect him to split everything 4 ways? And literally take dollar away from his kids? Easy for ops dad to judge when it sounds like he's never provided any financial support. Why is it on original poster to take in the niece and pay for everything including college? Exactly. Original poster took in the child and provided for all of her daily needs. Grandpa could have taken all of his leftover extra money that he wasn't spending on his granddaughter, and put it into a college fund, especially if not doing so meant a lack of love, according to him. As he stated, greater than I told him I just didn't have that type of money saved, and he said if I had cared for her I would have started saving as soon as I took her in. Grandpa needs to put his money where his mouth is. Yeah, I've noticed the older generation really don't understand how much everything costs now. They love to make unreasonable demands as long as it's someone else footing the bill. No assholes here, and yeah, the parent comment for this has good info on how best to move forward. Closing parenthesis. Not enough information. Have you been receiving Social Security death benefits for her this whole time? Whoa, yeah, this needs answered. I forgot about this. Edit to add original poster said that the amount he received monthly was small, so I'll assume in good faith it was spent fairly. No assholes here. Original poster revisit this topic with this girl and don't leave her hanging. Help her fill out her FAFSA. The lack of communication has rightfully freaked her out. I am going to say you are the asshole. Not because you are not paying for your niece's tuition. She has been with you for 6 years, and college saving really has to start as soon as the kid is born or shortly thereafter. I am saying you are the asshole because you said that after your eldest finished school, you started giving your niece more nice things. You probably should have put that money in a college fund instead. On top of that, I also fault you for not talking to your niece sooner about college funding. If you can't afford tuition for her, then you can't afford tuition. But I really think you should have told her this when she was 14 or 15 so that she could have planned better. You are the asshole for the way you phrased it and the way you view it. If you'd said to her and earlier would have been better, I want to help you go to college, I don't have the money to pay for all of it, but we'll find a good option through scholarships and however else I can help. You're not an asshole for not being able to pay for someone to go to college, but feeling like you don't have a duty to treat her like an actual equal makes you and then claiming to treat her like an equal is the asshole-shaped cherry on top. BC, it sounds like you said, "You're not one of my kids and I only am paying for my kids," which is super messed up, especially since you didn't tell her. Help you as much as you'd help your kids, because her dad, your brother, has passed and left her fatherless. Info. If your dad is so furious, why isn't he offering to pay for her college? He's retired, so unless he sells a part of his property, I doubt he has that kind of cash up front. He could have started saving when his granddaughter was orphaned. Or even born. You are the asshole. I also take care of my niece. Do you mean raising her? B.C. This isn't babysitting or some stray you took in. Always treated her like family. She is family. Give her things equally to the others. Well, apparently. No, you aren't. I don't understand how this is just now coming up. You're telling me you have never had a discussion with this child about her future? What were you planning to do when she turned 18 if she didn't leave for college? The treated her like family part really grinds my gears. Like, how is she not? Most people would agree that there is a difference between your kids and your siblings' kids. All are family, but there is a difference. Not enough information. Will she be able to get financial aid? Or will your income prevent that? If he's been claiming her as a dependent on his taxes, chances are the financial aid office is going to take original poster's income into consideration and could deny her financial aid. Original poster. If you have known for 6 years you weren't going to pay for her college and you waited this long to have this conversation with her, then you're kind of an asshole. Under FOSSA rules, being claimed as a dependent has no bearing. What counts is if you have one parent is living. She will also get special considerations if both biological parents are dead. She should have been ready to apply for scholarships regardless if there was money saved for her, just as your children should have. Are you just the legal guardian or did you adopt her? Did she get survivor benefits for the past 6 years? There are options and opportunities available to her, but these should have been discussed earlier. Ready to apply for scholarships? How does one become ready? Usually with the help of parents, guardians, and caretakers. She was a child up until recently. Future planning should have been spearheaded by original poster. I'd say not the asshole because you hadn't planned for her from a baby like the others. And what these YTA might not understand is that coming up with funds for college takes a lot longer than 6 years and you already had 3 kids to care for. I'd recommend maybe co-signing on her loans, or maybe if you can swing taking out a second mortgage to help her. Your dad can stop being an asshole and help by doing the same. I'm still going to try and help her, and I think her older cousins will too. Yeah, none of this situation is pleasant. Poor girl losing both parents. It was gracious for you to take her in when you already had 3. Yes, your family, but adding another child to the mix is definitely difficult. I'm not sure if these people who are commenting that YTA understand how expensive and difficult it is for you and your family. And colleges are expensive AF. Hang in there. He still should have discussed this with her before now. Not enough information. Did you adopt your niece? Are you going to be financially responsible for college costs on the FOSSA financial aid application? You need to understand how her situation fits with the financial aid process. It doesn't sound like you have any sense of her financial aid needs. I didn't adopt her, but I'm her legal guardian. This makes her independent for FOSSA purposes. This means your income is not considered for her FOSSA. This likely means an estimated family contribution of 0 if she doesn't work, meaning she would receive a lot of need-based financial aid, like Pell Grant, FSEO Grant, state grants, depends on what state she goes to school in. The FOSSA for fall 2023 just opened on the 1st of October. Go do it today. This is a really big deal. She will basically have no income and will be eligible for a lot of need-based aid that your kids are not eligible for. Schedule some intensive sessions with the school guidance counselor to learn about this. Engage your family members to help her out with applications if they are able, willing to do so, and if not, they need to stop nagging you. The more you can help her with this, the better. It was early 2000, but my estimated family contribution was 0. Went to state school and graduated with 20K loans and May 5K in work study. The calculations were also generous, partly because I was cheap, so I actually had money saved every semester. Anytime a college funding post comes up, it seems like no one gives even the basic consideration to the aid required and the factors affecting the aid. Not the asshole. 6 years isn't enough to save for an education. That said, you are underplaying that you will help with expenses. That's a huge deal. 6 years isn't replacing her parents. She obviously knows you as her uncle, not her dad per se. Schools give away a lot of money, Very few people pay the actual sticker price, so she can no doubt qualify for plenty of financial aid. Also, where is said grandpa in this, financially? Surely he has some form of something to contribute, if he expects you to? I think what makes original poster not the asshole is the niece's reaction to applying for scholarships. Like, lol no I don't need to put in effort, you're already paying for everything. Is the totally wrong mindset whether original poster was helping with tuition or not. Like whatever money, financial burden you can take off with scholarships you should. Edit to add. Original poster did answer the question of how long she has been in his care, 6 years, even responding directly to this comment, so thanks, original poster. He has also clarified that he has not adopted her, but is her legal guardian, which others have pointed out should greatly increase her ability to qualify for grants. I'm going to leave the rest of my original comment below. You are the asshole. You have yet to answer how long she has been in your care, but it seems like a major oversight on your part to not at least let her know that you weren't able to afford to help her with tuition before now. She's 17, so I'm assuming she is going to be heading to college within the next year or so, and you haven't even discussed applying for scholarships before now? I don't think that it is presumptuous for her to have assumed that you would pay for her college when you have tried to keep things equal between her and your children. I think you need to sit her down and apologize for not telling her sooner, and outline clearly the ways you will be able to help her, which should include helping her seek out and apply for scholarships, etc. Original poster said in a comment that she has been in their care since she was 11. Edited to add. I am curious about how the niece's chances for financial aid will be impacted by their decision to set nothing aside for her during all the years she has been with them. It is true she may be able to do a work study and qualify for some scholarships based on academic performance. But for any other financial aid, or needs-based scholarships, she will have to include the income of original poster and his wife on the application. She is legally their dependent, which means their income, and what they would have the ability to contribute, not what they plan on or are giving. Just the basic numbers of what would be expected based on income, is going to affect her chances of qualifying for significant needs-based aid, scholarships. Actually not correct. Because she is not adopted, she will apply as an independent student and be eligible for far more funding than most. If the family including the child spent 10 minutes online researching this, there would have never have been this dilemma. I find it very entitled that she thought she didn't need to apply for scholarship, who would rather want their parents to pay when not necessary. I personally would not assume my uncle is paying my full ride as an adult. I would be grateful for the loving home and be doing everything to be independent financially. Everyone sucks here. She sucks because she thinks that she shouldn't apply for scholarships to ease your burden financially. You suck because in the last 6 years you didn't start planning for her higher education and saving to include her as one of your children. She is, by all intents and purposes, your 4th child. It's entitled to believe you should get a full ride to any university from your parents. I was massively privileged that my parents provided me food, housing, car, insurance, and some money towards my university studies, greater than an original poster's 4th child is expecting more than that. That said, if you gave a full ride to 3 of your 4 dependents and didn't expect them to even try for scholarships or reasonable choice education, community college, state schools, it is extremely unfair for you to treat your 4th child differently. This is where I am. Niece should have been told this much earlier. And yes, he didn't have the time to save for her like the other kids. But if I were in her shoes, I would be so hurt if someone I viewed as a parental figure didn't save anything for me when the rest of the kids did. Intentionally or not, she was led to believe college was paid for, and what a horrible way to find out. Not the asshole. Everyone seems to be ignoring the fact that this child thought she wouldn't need to go for a scholarship because she thought he would be paying for her. Would she not want to save the man who raised her tens of thousands of dollars by trying to apply even if he was paying? Good point. It never hurts to see if some sort of scholarship or grants cause why not. Hate to jump the gun on thoughts, but that's sort of an entitled attitude? My dad paid for my college, no doubt, but I received a couple scholarships for grades. I worked hard to bring down the cost, plus tried saving money on housing and monthly bills. I wouldn't try to skip over saving money. Not the asshole. 6 years isn't a lot of time to save for an additional college education. Also, this may be because I don't have a college fund and never expected one, but the laughing at applying for scholarships is something. Even if there is a full college fund, I feel like people should try to get as much free money as possible. She's 17 and she lost her dad only 6 years ago. She is seeing her cousin get things she won't. This is tough. I get you can't make money magically appear, but you handled this so poorly. It's like you just wanted to deflate her. Of course she shouldn't just expect her tuition covered, but what is her reference point for it not to be? She's seen each of her cousins get theirs covered and has been treated equally by you in all other respects. Now you yank the rug out from under her with very little tact. You are the asshole for not approaching this conversation better with more empathy and understanding. This is a big lesson in life is not fair and you did nothing to cushion the blow.